Hey team, Catch22 here, and welcome to my latest episode. So today I'm playing a little bit of Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, and the reason why I'm playing that game is because of today's topic. So with the recent update of Windows 10, which is due to roll out shortly, this is going to support cross-platform play. Now, as primarily a PC gamer, I'm actually quite excited for this update. I also do have an Xbox One, which I tend to play a little bit, but not too often. Now, before we get too excited and get our knickers all sort of wound up, I wouldn't get too far ahead. The only game that's been confirmed is Fable Legends. So what that means for us, it's going to be quite a long wait, probably another 2 or 3 years before we get to see some definite results. Microsoft has actually gone out and they have stated they are not going to force developers to support cross-platform play, which I think is an absolutely great idea. Look, it probably would take intensive resources and a lot of development money and hours, all those sorts of things there. So I think if they just introduce it nice and slowly, the last thing we want is half-baked games introduced and the multiplayer itself is absolutely terrible. So I think it has to be sort of introduced slowly. The other thing I'm sort of a little bit concerned about is what games can sort of take advantage of this. So I think some games like Fable is probably a good example that can take advantage because there shouldn't be any sort of disadvantage or major advantage between the two different groups. However, when it comes to FPS shooters, the general consensus is PC gamers have quite a fair bit of advantage with the keyboard and mouse. Yes, I do know that console gamers, you do get a little bit of aim assistance, but I still think the keyboard and mouse sort of reigns supreme. So what that basically means is how will they sort of balance that out? So one of the suggestions so far is basically there will be set playlists. If you want to access that cross-platform play, what it can mean is that it could force PC gamers to play on a controller, or the other option is it could force console gamers to play on a keyboard and mouse, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. So far, I can't think of anything that would sort of balance out FPS gaming, especially some of the high twitch shooters like Counter-Strike. But it's interesting to see how developers go ahead and tackle that. Along those lines though, some games might work quite fine. I think racing games should be okay. I don't think there's a huge difference between a controller, keyboard and mouse. Keep in mind that hardcore racers tend to use steering wheels, so that would be fantastic to actually sort of team up. And I tend to find these days that the community on some PC games is quite small, so I'd be actually really excited to see that player base expand and sort of what the options are and what the possibilities are. The key to this, the key to success is to incentivize the developers to support this play. Another sort of criticism could be, or it's not really a criticism, but one of the concerns could be, why should a developer spend all that extra time and resources supporting this cross-platform play? Whether, well, the option, what it normally is basically, or the hard choice is, should I buy it on PC or Xbox? And if you're sort of really desperate, like me, I'll use Grand Theft Auto 5 as an example. I purchased that on Xbox One, and I'll purchase it on the PC. So it'd be interesting to see how developers go ahead and tackle that. Now, on that major press release that Microsoft just introduced a few days ago, gaming was a big focus with the new introduction of DirectX 12 and a lot of other sort of, they're trying to integrate the whole Xbox One into PC, the whole PC sort of space there, which I think is fantastic. Maybe the pennies finally dropped that gaming is a multi-billion-dollar industry and it's only going to keep on growing, and it's about time where they start treating gamers with respect. So basically guys, it'd be interesting to see what happens in about 12 months times. I'd be interested to hear what your predictions are. So this wraps it up for this episode guys. If you like what I have to say, like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. And I introduced videos on a weekly basis, and I'll start doing some giveaways soon. So that wraps it up guys. Catch22 out and have a good one.